Come on, E-Trade. Yeah, so it looks like we're likely going to be lower tomorrow. There's that move to the upside that's on the 1 month. Well, we got like 35 minutes left, so there's a move here between like somewhere on the cusp of the 30th, 31st to the upside, and then we have at the end of the day on the 31st this big move to the downside. My sense is that the price levels around now would like that would be the good this trade here on the cusp of the 27th 30th. It's possibly now like around now this price level will be profitable if you open up a long position and held it to the third, but I think there's more downside before the upside even so. Like there's probably a more profitable position on the first to open up a long position. Yeah, but see, end of the day, we declined through support level. We recently declined through once before. Hey B, it's a tough day, B, really, because I've got a lot telling me there's a low at the end of the day and a lot telling me there's a high at the end of the day. And then you've got the Prince of Swords, which is a notoriously difficult card to determine direction if you just try to read it without another indication here. So let's see. It's going to be a mixed day. I think the high's probably midday to early afternoon. it gets pretty choppy in the afternoon. A lot of price movement. A lot of price movement. So I think we have a low probably around. God, it's so choppy. My God. Real choppy morning. There's a key resistance level that we hit here just before noon. It looks like we may break through it momentarily, but then towards the end of the day, there's a lot of price movement. I've got a couple things indicating pretty notable move to the downside. I got a couple things indicating pretty notable move to the upside, but the move to the upside here starting early afternoon is an opportunity to open up a short position. Hey, no barking, Hermes. No barking. I think we're actually probably bearish into the first. Hermes. Hey, what is your issue? Hermes, what are you barking about, buddy? What's the issue? You want to go on the bed? What you making an issue about, huh? Hey, Carolyn. You talking about today? Like an end of day dump today, you mean? We're kind of in that, aren't we? But there's like going to be a move, like a little bit of like a local high through resistance level. We stay above it briefly. We break back down through that price level in the post market. So there's like a little bit of a pop to the upside here. Interesting. I had star clairvoyant impression while doing the reading for the 31st, and then here it is in the low for the 1st of February. Yeah, it's looking pretty ugly for February. Yeah, February's looking more and more ugly the closer we get to it, based on what's happening technically, like on the technical charts. We're really, really toppy. And we have a high for February, which I might have been wrong, might not be higher than the high in January. I mean, it happens. I was off in a lot of pieces of January, even though the dailies are all like 100% thus far. They're getting rated like right now. Um, really got my put got melted. All because I couldn't get in on the right day. If I got in on the right day, would have made a ton of money the following day, but I got in one day too late. Figures. Science price level there. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we probably hit that price level twice. There's like a high here midday. We may see it again at the end of the day. But there's like some real price swings in here in the early afternoon, especially. See, we have this. We have the Princess of Swords at the high here for today, and then we have Princess of Swords tomorrow, which probably is roughly the same price level. So, man, it is so erratic the next few days, like the next, I should say, hours, like throughout into the 31st. It starts to get a lot clearer as we get into February. So I left this red ellipse here so I would see how off I was, but I also drew another green ellipse that, for whatever reason, has been erased by E-Trade. Yeah, see, that's what we're coming up against, this like really strong resistance that we're not really breaking through here at the end of January, with a little bit of a rally in early February and then a breakdown through that rally. Hey Raymond, how are you doing, man? Yeah, you could probably position yourself in both directions. Based on what I'm seeing here. So let's call this price level here the Princess of Swords. Fifteen minutes left. So like I think we probably go lower on the second. No, it's kind of like a pop and drop. You get really toppy here. Pretty big decline over here at the end of the week, second week of February into the 13th. I wouldn't say it's bullish all day. It looks like it's bullish into midday, and then we have like a reversal towards the end of the day. Yeah, there's a pretty big decline in Bitcoin at the beginning of February, having to do with like a meeting. Um, Usually has something to do with Congress when you see the Hierophant, but in any case, there's a pretty notable drop at the end of at the beginning of February. Hmm. Yeah, we're definitely up at the top of the range here. We're topping off on a lot of things, Bitcoin included, Carolyn. It's like it's either slightly higher or it's the same high, is my sense. But there's a pretty notable drop beforehand, so I might be off on that. It might be a little lower. It's not gonna be far away from whatever the high ends up being in January, which I think we probably have seen at this point. Raymond. That's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of opportunity, it looks like, with some price swinging going on here to position oneself in both directions. You could do that here. So there's going to be quite a bit of movement. God, it's like there's like a big movement, a move to the upside to reach for resistance, and then there's a big move to the downside to possibly hit a low or just a trough there. So in the midst of that big price swing around the resistance level, which very well could be this price level right here. And then if it's this price level right here, we might also see it again at the end of the day. But there'll be some swings in there. So yeah, you could probably make out like a bandit if you time it well, Raymond. Make sure that you purchase at good times. Don't like chase moves like, oh man, I was gonna miss it. You either get it at the right time or you don't, you know? Because entry is just as important as exit. You can't your exit becomes like meaningless if you got in at the wrong entry point, you know? But that's what it's looking like, Raymond. Position here in the midst of like, there's like a swing here between roughly 11 and 12. So we'll have this crest out of the open. Well, first off, there's a decline into the open, and then a bit of a move to the upside out of the open. We create a crest, and there's selling from probably not far from the open, actually. There's a selling down to and through support level. We do a U-shaped reversal below that support level, come back and reuse as support, and then there's a big move there to the upside to reach for resistance. So like that move to the upside and reach for resistance, I'd probably open up the short position when we meet resistance. And then there'll be a big move to the downside. When we have this big move to the downside, probably to a low for the day or close. This is all happening before 12 o'clock. In the midst of that big move to the downside, I'd likely open up a long position. That science level again, so we keep coming up against the same top of a range. Raymond, you could probably make money doing some variation of what you're saying there, but you got to be quick. Don't hesitate, because we're going to be doing like a lot of this around the top here for, it looks like, a few days. No, I still see those highs. It's just a matter of they'll be February highs. So in relation to the lows, or in relation to the highs of January, hard to determine if it's a higher price level at this point. Let me see. It's probably slightly higher. That's my sense, is it's slightly higher. But the real trade is like at the beginning of the month. Yeah, Raymond, so just make sure you allow for enough movement, right? So the Princess of Swords, usually there's enough movement like somewhere in the midst of the movement, there's a resistance level that's highlighted, right? So the resistance level will be the top of the movement, and then there should be a big movement away from it. But you want to allow for enough movement that it makes sense, right? So to open up the other leg. But yes, that's the idea, and then you might be able to make money on both, like in here, like with both of them, depending on how big the price swings here towards the end of the day. But there's the Ace of Discs. I think this is probably a big drop here, off of the end of the day. Big drop overnight is my sense. And then there's like a pop and drop. We're hitting the top, and there's Princess of Swords again. So, you know, just when you have an opportunity to take profits, take it. See what you're talking about. I don't see the adjustment card. The adjustment card is usually the card that fills a gap. My first sense is that we don't. I just got the adjustment card. Okay, let me retract that statement. I mean, there's a big move to the upside on the 3rd. It's a pretty big move to the upside around the 5th. There's a big move to the upside on the 9th. I'm not seeing anything that stands out, but I did just pull the adjustment card, so that's interesting. I'm not sure about waiting that long on the calls. It really just depends on the price movement, Raymond. It's the end of January looking like here. Yeah, I don't think we do, Carolyn. I don't think we do. If we did, we wouldn't stay there very long. We'd retrace that move to fill the gap. We'd retrace it, it looks like. Oh wait, you're talking about Amazon. Are you talking about Amazon or Bitcoin? Amazon. Alright, let me look at Amazon. I was looking at the Bitcoin chart. see, there's that. It could. I mean, this could also represent the Fed, but the Fed would more likely be like the Knight of. Well, the Knight of Discs would be the Fed chair, but this could be the Fed. Any case, big move off of a low. I don't see like us filling a gap there. I don't see us filling a gap there, Carolyn. Let's see, January. I didn't do a February Amazon. Yeah, this looks like an opportunity. The last day of the month for Amazon is a cash out opportunity, Carolyn, and it looks like we probably are set up for a pretty big drop here. Did you get all that, Carolyn? Yep, you got it. I'm so tired, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really tired. My dog was puking like all night, dry heaving. I took him to the doctor. There's something going around my neighborhood for dogs, apparently, like Giardia or something, but oof, I've never seen him so sick. He was like dry heaving every 10 minutes, so I didn't get much sleep. Yeah, if I got those on the list. RIOT. And Mara. I think I might have Mara on the list. Yep, Mara's on the list. Yeah, I got a failed for Riot. I got a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through support for February. So that lines up pretty well with what we've been looking at so far. And then for Mara, same thing, big decline for Mara in February. And it was like a widespread decline, so multi-cryptos multi-crypto decline, not just like one or two, like more than a few. Yeah, he'll be alright. He's got medicine now. He already seems like he's been feeling better. Yeah, I didn't even like give him his second dose, so. Alright, so let's do a recap of S&P and then I gotta roll, guys. Ugh, that's so annoying. Thank you, E-Trade. That's the second time it did that. Alright. Yeah, see, the star. So when I did the reading for the 31st, the star card, I got a clairvoyant impression of the star card. And then the following, I didn't do the February 1st reading the same day that I did the 31st. I did all of the Januaries in one day. I did all the Februaries probably a month later. But the point is there's that star card in the following day at the low, which also appears to be a notable low. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so I think notable low, and then there's a good opportunity there on the 1st to open up a long position and close it on the 3rd. And there you go. Look, it's that Princess of Swords price level again, right there. Boom, at the high. So it's probably roughly the same high. As far as the day goes, so it's pretty choppy, right? There's a key resistance level that'll be highlighted, and it looks like there's a rally into that resistance level, but there's a lot of choppy behavior going on early in the day, and then before noon there's like this move off of key resistance, well, move into key resistance and then a move off of key resistance, and that offers opportunity to position oneself in both directions, not at once, but like as it moves, like it'll move enough to position that it gives an opportunity in both directions. And then we do some price swings here early afternoon. Could probably close a long position if you time it right here. Oh, you know what, Raymond? You should open the long position. You could open the long position first thing in the morning. If we have a big drop overnight, you could open the long position first thing in the morning. But you could also do it there. There's enough behavior. It's going to do a lot of choppy behavior. So just make sure that you're not hasty and you position yourself well. And then the exit's going to be easy because we're going to be doing a lot of like back and forth. We're really toppy on a multi-day chart. So we're going to be doing a lot of back and forth around the top for a little bit. I never finished the XRP reading for February, but I do have a reading to look at. XRP is looking to follow pretty much the same thing. There's an opportunity towards the end of the month in the midst of a decline to open up a long position. But there's going to be a lot of price movement, and there'll be a significant decline on a multi-day chart to reach the February low. So that's the chart behavior. Still getting a yes for that, Carolyn. Going to zero. Now, is it absolute zero? Hard to say if it's absolute zero, but it'll be near it, right? So, and we're already pretty close to absolute zero. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna roll. Thanks for watching, and as always, make sure you follow that rule of karma. Send that love into the world, and it comes back to you 10